Hey y'all, thanks for tuning back into Chickanic. I hope everybody's having a great week. No, that thumbnail is not clickbait. Husqvarna just this week has recalled over 400,000 machines, and you might have one. Now, a recall of 400,000 machines is huge. In fact, the last time we saw this, I made a video on it, was when Honda recalled 400,000 of their walk-behind mowers. And just saying, Honda ain't selling walk-behind mowers anymore here in America. So I'm gonna go ahead and delve into this and let y'all know what's going on. But afterwards, I'm gonna tell you about my experience with these recalled machines and tell you why I made a video on it last year that Husqvarna saw and actually changed procedure at their mega corporation because of us. Now, according to this week's recall, Husqvarna recalls grass trimmers due to fire hazard. And this has to do with 3 different models of trimmer, the 330LK, the 130C, and the 130L. It also has the SKU numbers if you want to check and see if yours is on here for recall. Now, these were pretty much purchased from October 2021 through November 2023, and they were sold from dealers such as Husqvarna dealers, Lowe's, Tractor Supply, and other home and garden stores nationwide. Now, the reason for the recall is the firm has received 12 reports of recalled grass trimmers catching on fire from an electrical spark or arcing, including 2 reports of property damage and 1 report of a consumer who suffered burns on their leg and arm when they were attempting to extinguish the fire. Now, it says that about 403,000 units were affected, and in addition, 17,230 were sold in Canada. So yeah, guys, this is one of the most common trimmers that I got into the shop in the last couple of years. So if you have one at home, definitely take it to your local Husqvarna dealer and let them get you fixed up before this season starts. But what is this going to cost Husqvarna? Well, you got to think about it. I know from the years that I was doing warranty repair, you never got less than like $32.50 or something like that. So I'm not sure exactly what's wrong. They're saying something with the magneto is the wiring's incorrect, which is causing an arc or a spark. And if it's next to gasoline, obviously the gas tank is, inches away from it. So it's definitely a hazard, depending on how long it takes. The lowest that they're going to pay for all of these repairs is $30 for each repair in labor. This does not include if they're changing out the coils. I have no idea, or just the wires. Now, $30 is actually on the extreme lower end. They could be paying $40, but just say we'll go with $30. 400,000 times $30 a pop, that's $12 million right there. That does not include whatever parts that they're going to be replacing. It doesn't include all the mail outs that they have to do to let all their registered customers know that they have an issue. It doesn't include them having to rework whatever part that was faulty. So this is going to cost Husqvarna millions and millions of dollars. But you got to sort of give it to them. I mean, 12 reports of it starting on fire and 1 person hurt and a couple people with property damage with over 400,000 units sold, and that's supposedly all the reports they got, and they've already jumped on it. You gotta give them credit for that. Now, I myself have never heard of somebody's 2-cycle trimmer starting a fire, so I'm sort of interested on what's going on here. But you know what? I brought home a ton of machines whenever we closed our shop down, and I got a pile of 2-cycles out there. I bet I might have one of these recall units for us to take a look at. And I'd like to tell you why I made a video on it last year that ended up having Husqvarna get a hold of me and eventually changed procedure because of us. And it was all because of this recalled trimmer. So why'd I make last year's video about this recalled unit? Well, I was fed up. I had customers' units sitting at the shop for months, whether it was a trimmer, a walk-behind unit, a rider. I had units that I could not get parts for, no matter what. Now, I'm not a Husqvarna dealer, but I have distributors that would stock Husqvarna parts readily available. I never had an issue with it before. And then all of a sudden last year, everything went to boot and I couldn't get any kind of specialty parts. And this recalled trimmer just happened to be one of the things that I had in the shop waiting on a part because the customer had pulled on their choke lever too hard and broke it off the base. And so all I needed was a choke lever, but you couldn't get one. I never ended up getting one. I just had to give the customer his trimmer back because I couldn't repair it. So I made that video and ended up Husqvarna called me and invited me to meet with them at the Kentucky Outdoor Power Expo, which was really cool. They were super awesome, and y'all have probably seen that video. If not, I'll leave a link right up above. I got to do a meet and greet with all of y'all, and that was super cool. And guess what, guys? Just to let you know, I did just buy my tickets. I will be there again this year, so if y'all are in the area and you plan on attending, please try to find me. I don't know if I'm going to be at somebody's booth or not, or just walking around, so it would be cool to run into you there. So I'm interested to see if I have one of these trimmers out there. Let's go find out. So when I closed down my shop, I brought a ton of units home. Now, a lot of them had good parts on them, and that's all they were good for. A lot of them were still worth repairing, but a lot of these I just brought home that were like maybe burned up, but I wanted to use for demonstrations later. So of course, I have one of these recalled trimmers here somewhere. Found it. It's in the middle of the pile down there. It's gonna be a fun one to get out. And I know, don't judge about my pile here. We literally had nowhere to put these units when we moved to this shop, so they're just all sitting out here under a tarp until I can get to them. And the options are endless. So I brought them inside. This is the recalled model right here, the 130L, and this is their older, the 128LD. Now, I'm gonna tell you why this machine I never liked, and this machine is one of my favorite trimmers. And I know this one looks scary, it's all weather beaten, but here's what a new one looks like. Now I'm going to start out with the Husqvarna 128LD and tell you first what's wrong with it, and then second what I love. Now, out of the over 200 repair videos that I've made in the last 2.5 years since I started doing this, I have only made one video on this trimmer. That's because there's only one thing that ever goes wrong with it. And if they fix that one thing, it'd be the perfect trimmer for its price point. Now, in that video, I showed you that because the fuel lines are very prone to rotting in the first couple of years, it will start sucking that debris from the fuel lines into your carburetor, which then ruins the diaphragms inside your carburetor, and you end up needing fuel lines, fuel filter, either a carburetor kit or a carburetor. So I have a video for that if you have this trimmer and you have that issue, because it is the most common problem that these trimmers have. I will leave a link right up above. If they would just change those fuel lines to some kind of, black rubber line instead of the Tygon that they used, it would never be an issue. Now, let me tell you everything I love about this trimmer. First off, it lists for about $230, $240. It is a split boom straight out of the box. You don't have to, upgrade to get a split boom. It comes with it. So if you want to get attachments, you can go right on ahead. When it comes to repair, it's super easy to work on. You have one little screw, two little nuts. Everything is very easy to get to, and anybody at home can fix their own machine. When it comes to the throttle trigger, I've never had any issues with these. They're pretty much always good. The on-off switches sometimes go bad on them, but a lot of times customers wouldn't mind. They just choke it to kill it. The rewind, it does have a spring assist, but there really wasn't that many issues with it. It would be probably the second most problem that this trimmer had, but it wasn't that common. The gas cap, unlike the steels, they last forever. And when it comes to removing your plug, a lot of people these days, they make the plug boot so short that you can't get it off without ripping the entire boot off, and then you have to take the whole thing apart to put it back together. These still have enough room to get on your spark plug easily. Yeah, so for $240, 28 cc's with a split boom, with usually no problems at all, this is a big bang for your buck, because most of the comparable trimmers in steel and Husqvarna for that price are going to have way less cc's of power. Like the Echo SRM 225, it's only got like 21 point something cc's. So we've gone over the good, now we'll get to the bad and the ugly, but if you are in the market for a string trimmer, I do highly recommend the Husqvarna 128LD. If I can find a link, I'll leave one in the description box below. All right, where do I start? The 130L Husqvarna trimmer. Now first off, I don't like change, and I especially don't like change if what I see is more degrades than upgrades. I'll start off with the cc's of power. Now the 130L, it's got 28 cc's of power. The 128LD has the exact same cc's of power. The price, the 130L is $30 more than the 128LD. When it comes to, let's just start out at the end of the trimmer and we'll work our way up, because there's a lot of things here. If you can see this, look at this gigantic shield. I mean, this is what you want right here. And the 130 is like half the size. The 128LD is an automatic split boom, so you can buy attachments for it. The 130L has no split boom. It's just a regular straight shaft. Now, there's not much difference about the throttle control. It's pretty much okay. But when I get to the engine, there's more issues. First off, one of my main things I always look at anymore, I don't know why they make spark plug wires so short on all of these machines, but the 128LD, this hump right here that covers up the spark plug wire is slightly back a little bit. So you're able to put your spark plug boot on your spark plug. Anytime you remove it, you're not ripping at it and accidentally pulling the entire boot off. On this one though, it is like all I can do to try to get it on that plug. It barely has any room at all. That's my problem number one. Two, the rewind assembly on it. It's another kind of spring assist. I just don't like how it pulls. I don't like the feeling of it at all. The older one just seemed to pull better to me. They also didn't upgrade the fuel lines. Whenever they went from the 128LD, the Tygon yellow lines, they did the same thing in this one. So I got a feeling it's gonna do the same thing where it just starts rotting the fuel lines after a couple of years and sucking that debris up into the carburetor, and you're gonna have to use a carburetor kit or a brand new carburetor. But this is what really gets me. Now on the 128LD, this was the choke lever. And it was super simple to put on choke, half choke, take off a choke. Why change it? I mean, somebody got paid a lot of money for this design, and I just don't get it. The choke lever on this one is this huge piece right here, and it feels just janky anytime you do it. It's sort of hard to pull. It doesn't feel good on your finger. And this was the reason that my customer had brought their trimmer in that I had to give back to them without fixing, because they pulled on this so hard, not thinking that it was engaged enough, that they completely ripped it off. And this is $1.99. But guess what? I couldn't get it for months. So it's a year later and I can get all the parts in the world for the 128LD. Do you think this trimmer that's been out for years now, that they have been selling at least for 3 years, because we know there are recalls from 2021 to 2023, do you think we can get any parts for it? Let's look. So I got the breakdown for the 130L Husqvarna string trimmer. Here's the breakdown for the carburetor and intake section, and we're gonna see it. Do they have that choke lever? Absolutely not. And I can't get it from my personal distributor either. Do they have the air filter base? No, they don't. What about this little piece right here? No, currently unavailable. Forever now. What about the carburetor? Can we get that? Absolutely not. No, you can't get parts for it. I don't get it. So I am just, this has put a bad taste in my mouth. I am not happy with it. I am, like good old trusty 128LD. Why screw up a good thing? I don't know. But now that you've watched the video, at least you know if you own one of these already, you need to go get it warranty repaired. And if you are in the market for a trimmer, what to avoid and what to buy. And guys, if you find yourself coming back over and over again to my videos, think about hitting that subscribe button. It helps out the algorithm to make my videos shown to more people, to save them time, money, and frustration in the future. Now, if you have had your Husqvarna 128LD for years and it is running sluggish or not at all, I did already make a video on how to repair that, and I will leave that right here.